A single bad call can decide a championship. In a billion-dollar industry, this is the biggest point of failure.
The ball came to my side. I was in perfect position.
One that's been part of baseball since umpires first took the field in 1864, nearly 160 years ago. For generations, the game has relied on subjective human judgment.
We had a really good shot at getting them out.
And the idea of reversing an umpire's pitch call was almost unthinkable. But what if that flaw could finally be eliminated? The technology to guarantee a perfect call on every pitch is already here. MLB's automated ball strike system uses Hawkeye, the same proven tech that has been making line calls in tennis since 2006 and tracking goals in soccer since 2012. Now it's about to drive one of the most significant changes in balls and strikes since instant replay arrived in 2014. This isn't just about fairness, it's about the business and integrity of Major League Baseball itself. But to understand why this change is so urgent, we need to look at the one moment that exposed just how costly a single mistake can be. On June 2, 2010, Detroit Tigers pitcher Armando Galarraga found himself on the cusp of baseball immortality. For 8 2/3 innings, he was flawless. 26 batters stepped up, and 26 were sent back to the dugout. With just one out left, Galarraga was about to pitch what would have been only the 21st perfect game in Major League Baseball history. The final batter hit a routine ground ball. The first baseman scooped it up and tossed it to Galarraga, who sprinted to cover first base. Galarraga's foot landed on the bag well before the runners. The stadium erupted. Then Jim Joyce, umpiring at first base, spread his arms, safe. The replay left no room for debate. Millions watched as the broadcast showed, again and again, that the runner was clearly out. It wasn't a borderline call. It was an obvious mistake that wiped away a historic moment in just seconds. Galarraga could only manage a resigned smile. The human element had failed, and it did so at the worst possible time. But here's the thing, this wasn't just a once-in-a-generation error. It was the most visible symptom of a problem that happens every single day. That single call pulled back the curtain on a deeper issue in baseball's foundation. Recent studies track MLB umpires at roughly 92% accuracy, translating to around 9 missed calls each game. That's not just a number. It means almost every inning there's a missed call somewhere on the field. These aren't just minor mistakes either. Many of them come on pitches at the edge of the strike zone, where human eyes struggle the most. The strike zone, as called by umpires, is rarely the neat rectangle you see in the rulebook. Instead, it shifts from game to game, even from inning to inning, depending on who's behind the plate. These errors don't just affect the box score. They can decide playoff games, swing a World Series, or, as in Galarraga's case, erase a once-in-a-lifetime achievement. The financial impact is just as real. A home playoff game can generate tens of millions in revenue, so a late-blown call can carry multi-million-dollar consequences. Fans, sponsors, and broadcasters expect the outcome to be determined by the players, not by a missed call. When that trust is broken, it's not just a bad look, it's a direct threat to the business of baseball. So when you think back to that one call that cost Galarraga his perfect game, remember, it's not just a rare heartbreak. It's the human face of a problem that plays out in every ballpark every night, backed by data and dollars. Even the most dedicated, experienced umpires can't outrun the limits of human vision. The game has simply gotten too fast, too precise, and too valuable for guesswork. Technology offers a way forward, a system that doesn't blink, doesn't sweat, and never misses a step. But how do you build a tool that sees what the human eye can't? The answer starts with understanding just how fast and how unforgiving the modern game really is. A 100-mile-per-hour fastball covers the distance from the mound to home plate in just 400 milliseconds. Humans simply aren't built for that kind of speed. Even the best umpires with years of experience and sharp instincts top out at about 92% accuracy when calling balls and strikes. That leaves nearly 1 in every 10 calls open to error, an unavoidable reality when your eyes and brain are asked to process something faster than a blink. So what does it take to see what the human eye can't? Enter the unblinking eye. Forget the idea of a robot perched behind the plate. The real automated ball strike system, or ABS, is a network of technology that quietly transforms the stadium into a data-gathering powerhouse. Hawkeye, the backbone of ABS, has been working behind the scenes in elite sports for years. It started with cricket broadcasts in 2001, then tennis in 2006. and by 2012, it was making goal line decisions in professional soccer. This isn't a prototype. It's a system that's already proven itself in the most pressure-filled moments in sports. The setup is deceptively simple. Around a dozen high-speed, high-resolution cameras are positioned throughout the ballpark, each with a clear line of sight to home plate. These cameras don't just snap a photo as the ball crosses the plate. Instead, they lock onto the baseball the instant it leaves the pitcher's hand and follow its every movement, capturing thousands of data points per second. The result is a complete digital record of the ball's path. No guesswork, no missed angles, and no chance for a crucial detail to slip by. All of this data is funneled into a central computer, which uses triangulation to stitch together a precise three-dimensional model of the pitch. But the real magic happens when the system overlays this flight path onto the strike zone. Here's where the ABS system goes beyond anything a human could do. The strike zone isn't just a generic rectangle. Its width is always 17 inches, the width of home plate. But the top and bottom boundaries are graphically set based on each batter's measured height and stance, confirmed by biomechanical data. The bottom of the zone is set at 27% of the batter's height, and the top at 53.5%, ensuring the zone fits each player's unique build. This prevents manipulation and creates a personalized, fair zone for every pitch. The result? A verdict on every pitch that's accurate to within millimeters. The call, ball, or strike is generated almost instantly, often before the catcher even returns the ball. There's no subjectivity, no bias, and no risk of a missed call due to a bad angle or a split-second hesitation. Hawkeye's multi-camera approach eliminates the parallax errors and blind spots that limit a human's single viewpoint, delivering a level of precision that simply wasn't possible before. But even with this kind of accuracy, the question isn't just about what the technology can do. It's about how you introduce something so precise, so different, into a sport built on tradition. The system may be ready to call a perfect game, but the real challenge is figuring out how to make it work for players, umpires, and fans without losing what makes baseball feel like baseball. Major League Baseball is running one of the most ambitious experiments in its history, a live billion-dollar A/B test that blends tradition with technology in real time. Instead of flipping a switch and moving straight to full automation, the league is rolling out the ABS challenge system in a carefully staged rollout, first in the minor leagues and now in spring training. This approach lets MLB gather real data and honest feedback from the people who matter most, the players, managers, and fans who live and breathe the game. Here's how the ABS challenge system actually works. The umpire behind the plate still calls every pitch, preserving the familiar look and feel of the sport. But now, if the batter, pitcher, or catcher disagrees with a call, they can immediately signal for a review. No arguments, no delay. Each team gets 2 challenges per game, just like in the minor league trials from 2019 to 2022, where teams use the system in about half of all games. If a team's challenge is successful, they keep it. If not, they lose that opportunity. Once both challenges are gone, there's no way to contest another call, no matter what's at stake. This mirrors the minor league data, where about half of challenges led to overturned calls. Defenses were slightly more successful than batters, but the margin was slim. When a challenge is made, the action pauses. Everyone in the stadium turns to the scoreboard. In about 14 seconds, the Hawkeye system delivers a computer-animated replay showing the true path of the pitch and the official ruling. There's no ambiguity, just a clear, data-driven answer. This process is far quicker than the old days of managers storming the field, arguing for minutes at a time. With 402 pitches per 9 innings, where pausing for argument can exceed any one 14-second replay, the challenge system is designed to keep the game moving, while making sure the most important calls are right. Players have mixed feelings about the system, but there's no question it's changing the rhythm of the game. Pitcher Tyler Glasnow has called it the most fun part of the game, appreciating the instant accountability and clarity. Others, like Freddie Freeman, worry about burning through challenges too early, especially if a critical call comes late in a close game. Still, the feedback from minor league and spring training tests is clear. Most players and coaches prefer the challenge system over full ABS automation, seeing it as a fair compromise that preserves the human element while correcting the most obvious mistakes. For MLB, this isn't just about accuracy, it's about business. By reducing pointless arguments and increasing the perception of fairness, the league hopes to speed up the game and appeal to a new generation of fans who expect transparency at every turn. Every review, every decision is a data point in MLB's broader effort to refine the system before any regular season debut, possibly as soon as 2026. The challenge system is more than a technological upgrade. It's a test of whether a sport built on tradition can adapt without losing its core. And as MLB collects feedback and watches every outcome, it's clear that this experiment is about more than just calls at the plate. It's about what happens when a league decides that getting it right isn't just a matter of pride, it's a business necessity. The shift to automated officiating is redefining how professional sports leagues protect the integrity of their games. For baseball, adopting data-driven accuracy over tradition signals a new era, one where every pitch is measured, reviewed, and trusted. This isn't just a baseball story. The global sports officiating technology market is already valued at $3.4 billion in 2024, according to Research Nestor, and it's projected to grow at over 21% annually through 2037. That kind of growth shows just how much is at stake, not just for MLB, but for every major league worldwide. In an era where the MLB's TV deals rely on fan trust, perfecting the strike zone is now a core business imperative. The push for flawless calls isn't about replacing umpires, it's about ensuring that the outcome on the field stands up to the scrutiny of millions watching at home and the sponsors investing billions. The future of baseball will be built on both tradition and technology, and the next chapter is already underway.